Sometimes to make smooth chord changes, you need to mute the strings in between chords. And sometimes chord muting or dead strums are just part of a song. Chord muting is when you mute the guitar strings after playing a chord. Dead strums are when you strum the strings while muting the notes. Here's an example of me doing chord muting. And here's an example of me doing dead strums. There are 3 different ways to mute the strings in between chord changes. The first way to mute the strings is by using the palm of your picking hand. When I say the palm of your picking hand, I mean this meaty edge of your hand right here. Try strumming any of the strings on your guitar and using the edge of the palm of your picking hand to mute the strings like this. The second way to mute the strings is by laying your fretting hand fingers across the strings. Here's an example of me laying my fretting hand fingers across the strings to silence the notes. Give this a try yourself. The third way to silence the strings in between chords is by gently raising your fretting hand fingers off the fretboard while still keeping your fingers on the strings. Here's an example. So if you watched closely, you could see I did 2 things there. The first thing I did was I lightly lifted my fingers off the frets that I was playing. I did not pull my fingers completely off the strings. My fingers were still resting on the strings. I just lifted my fingers so that I wasn't holding the strings down against the fretboard anymore. The second thing I did was I rocked or leaned my fingers down so that my first finger would silence the open D and G strings. Here's that same example so you can see it again. This strategy of gently lifting your fretting hand fingers is very useful when playing bar chords. If I play an F major bar chord, I can easily mute every string very quickly by just gently lifting my fingers off the fretboard while still keeping contact with the strings. Here's an example with the F major bar chord. Try practicing each one of these strategies. 1. Using the edge of the palm of your picking hand to mute the strings after strumming. 2. Laying your fretting hand fingers across the strings to silence the notes after strumming. And 3. Gently raising your fingers off the fretboard while still keeping your fingers on the strings. I really hope these strategies help you out.